What's up, guys? Welcome to another edition of Go News. I'm John Keys. And last episode, we switched it up a little bit and we told you ways you can celebrate your 2A rights. Usually we're telling you how to defend them. And last episode, we told you how you can celebrate it with Brownell's 2A Day. Well, in the same vein of celebration, but also empowering, we're now going to get into another event happening in March in Texas on International Women's Day weekend. International Women's Day is March 8th. But on March 9th, we now will have the National Women's Range Day in Grapevine, Texas, at the Texas Gun Experience. And this is being spearheaded by Gun Owners of America and Empowered 2A. And let me just read to you exactly what you're going to get. Gun Owners of America is excited to announce a new way to celebrate women's empowerment on this upcoming International Women's Day weekend. Saturday, March 9th, GOA and Empowered 2A will launch our inaugural National Women's Range Day at Grapevine, Texas, at Texas Gun Experience. Now, Texas Gun Experience is a 35,000 square foot range that boasts massive retail and firearms and high-tech shooting stalls, robust selection of machine guns for rental. Attendees will have full access to 15 25-yard lanes and 6 50-yard lanes for target practice, training, and plenty of time to sample a plethora of handgun and rifle rentals. Tickets for this women's only range day are $20 and will include an all-access day pass at Texas Gun Experience, including firearm rentals, ammunition, and range time. Ladies in attendance will have the opportunity to meet with female advocates and leaders in the Second Amendment community and seek advice on best practices in their concealed carry journey. Additionally, women will receive a complimentary GOA one-year membership with their ticket. Wow, that sounds really, really stacked. So, in order to give us more information on this, I'm bringing on none other than GOA's Antonio Cover to give us all the details. Antonio, welcome to Go News.
Hey, thanks for having me.
It's been a while, hasn't it, since we've been on camera together?
Yeah, it has been. It's good.
How have you been?
I've been good. I've been good. 2 kids later, but I'm good.
No doubt. So listen, Antonio, you've been spearheading Empowered 2A for how long now?
Oh man, so we officially launched Empowered 2A in 2017.
Wow, 2017. That's a while. That's 7 years ago.
Oh man, time flies. It really does.
No, it really, really does. So,
Yeah.
okay. So you're spearheading Empowered 2A. GOA is helping you guys out with this. Talk to us about Women's Range Day.
Yeah, so it's our first our Women's Range Day, but honestly, it's the first in the industry. We don't have an event that's just specifically for women, especially not every year. So we're going to be starting that with GOA. It's going to be in Texas, of course, centrally located to the nation, so we get everybody coming in. But yeah, it's going to be during International Women's Day weekend, which is March 8th. But Saturday is usually a best day for women to be able to come, leave their kids, come over and spend the day with us. So March 9th, we're going to be having a full day. We're going to have advocacy training. We're going to have firearms instruction and safety training as well. We're going to have a fashion show where we're going to have a lot of vendors and companies in the 2A space are going to show their women-specific concealed carry, their purses, their fanny packs, all the different types of ways that women can carry. We're going to be experiencing that in our fashion show. But yeah, we're going to have a plethora of different things, a lot of variety there that day. But we just want people to come over and feel safe with other women and know that they can be empowered through the Second Amendment. They need the tools to get there, and we can help them get the tools to be able to do that.
There's a lot we can unpack with this. We can talk about why it's important for women to practice their Second Amendment rights, because speaking from your experience, Antonia, you're a wife, you're a mother, you're a daughter, and most people will agree that it's the man's place to defend the household, but at the end of the day, the Second Amendment is for everybody. So I would like for you to just speak to the importance of a woman taking that responsibility into her own hands, whether she be a single mother or whether she be someone's wife and a mother of kids at home.
Yeah, it's been, you were talking about how when we started Empowered 2A, I started it in 2017 when I was very much single, no marriage in sight, no children in sight, wanted to, but just wasn't there yet. But, just going from being a single woman who really had to constantly be thinking about how I take care of myself, how I'm going to be, an independent woman, also, protecting myself, particularly in the city. I realized that, from that point to where I am now, as a mother with two toddlers, not just anything, right? Two toddlers. And
Mhm.
for those, who have toddlers, you're constantly having to chase after them and watch your back with them.
Hit 'em
But
with
then
swivel.
also, yeah. And then also being a wife as well. Things have changed, but if anything, it's given me a greater awareness of why it's even more important for me as a woman to defend myself. Because at the end of the day, there are criminals, and there's been plenty of studies on this. Right, one study I know is a study where they talked to criminals in prison, and they looked for different potential victims, and they would tell these researchers why they specifically targeted different victims, and they would target them based on usually their gender or the way that they walked, or if they had children with them, if they were vulnerable, they had opportunities. So these are just a reality of what women have to go through, and so it's important that instead of feeding the narrative of people, particularly unfortunately during things like International Women's Day, which a lot of the anti-gun, moms demand action organizations try to take over and make it about essentially just scaring women into why they shouldn't have guns or why they shouldn't be part of the Second Amendment, because it's the bad guy. Well, I'm not a bad guy. I'm
Mhm.
actually the good person trying to take care of myself and defend myself. So how do I use firearms for self-protection? So this is an opportunity for us to change the narrative, reclaim what it means to be a empowered woman, and instead empower these women to be educated, to be able to train and then advocate for the Second Amendment and defend the rights that they have, that their God-given rights give them.
No, absolutely. I mean, it's no secret over the past, I want to say 2 to 3 years, that the percentage of females purchasing firearms has
Mhm,
increased dramatically, to the point
mhm,
of which it's the fastest growing segment, specifically Black women
mhm,
purchasing firearms. So I think that what you're doing is very important work. I think that there should be other organizations that pay as much attention to women's Second Amendment rights specifically, because I think there's additional hurdles that women have to overcome in order to be comfortable with owning a firearm, right? Because there's so much fear mongering out there,
mhm.
and I've personally trained females behind the gun, and you have to take a different approach than you would take with a male for a number of different reasons. But at the end of the day, I know that women who I've trained and women who I've seen train, man, once they get a taste of that control that they have when using a firearm, it's no turning back. And then they just become so enthusiastic about it. Talk to me a little bit about your experience in that arena.
Oh yeah, absolutely, and that's why it's called Empowered. I personally went on this journey almost 10 years ago when I was actually anti-gun. I wasn't pro Second Amendment. I would have called myself, someone who didn't, really want to deal with firearms because of what I saw on social media or just media in general, which is always negative. But
Mhm.
it was, I'm a sexual assault survivor. And so I've always been focused on empowering myself and empowering other women. That's always been that thread there. I just didn't realize that the Second Amendment, that gun ownership, that I could be empowered through that too. And that's what a lot of women are recognizing now, particularly during COVID and after COVID. There's been study after study, and I like to bring up these studies because, honestly, these are from anti-gun organizations that are also saying, you know what, man, 8 million new gun owners, but of those 8 million new gun owners, almost 46% of them are women, and
Wow.
almost 21% of them are Black women.
Mhm.
So obviously, the narrative that people have been trying to push, particularly anti-gun people, of it being sexist or it being racist, right? We've heard these lines, these titles on these articles over and over again. But
Mhm.
this is just obviously showing that that's not true. It's for everyone. It's always been for everyone,
Mhm.
but we're going to have the studies to back up why it's for everybody. People, particularly women, are realizing it comes down to them. Their safety comes down to them. During COVID, there were police officers, police departments saying, look, we're over capacity. We don't have the people, we don't have the manpower. If you call the minutes, the 7 to 5, minutes that some people will even proclaim at some points that are the best of the best time awareness there. Most of the time it's looking like 20 to 30 minutes, right? At the end
Mhm.
of the day, it comes down to you because these things happen in seconds. They don't happen in minutes.
Right.
So a lot of women realize that message, particularly during COVID, and that's why we're seeing the numbers we're seeing now. But I think it's here to stay. We just need to make sure that we're actually talking to these women and letting them know that this right is for them and how they can advocate in their own state to protect that right.
Awesome. I just think it's just truly awesome. Listen, Antonia, I'm really excited. I wish I could make it. I wish I could go there and see and film and capture this experience, because I'm sure it's going to be amazing and heartfelt. And there's going to be a lot of people, a lot of women that are enlightened, and even men. I think, for me, I went to an all female training event in Maryland. It was called Sister Shoot by Firebird Tactical. And man, it was unbelievable. There was over 100 women there, and the vast majority of them were there for the training, and they didn't even own firearms yet. They were actually there to get trained and get comfortable with the firearm before they actually make their first purchase. And I just thought that was amazing. They see that's the type of stuff that women do that men don't do. Women will prepare, and men will just dive right in, and we'll figure it out while we're doing it, right? But
Yep, yep,
it just speaks to the level of preparedness that's there in women naturally. So I really wish the best for this event. Shout out to Gun Owners of America for assisting you with this. And is there anything else that you want to share to the ladies out there that may be interested in attending this event?
Yeah, well, it's only $20, but of course, if there's any issues like that we have, please let us know. You can email me at antonia@gunowners.org, and you'll get your free membership and everything that comes with it. But at the end of the day, if you have any questions, please let me know. I know this for a lot of people, this is the first experience they're gonna have with firearms, and they might be a little scared. So please I just want to let you guys know that we're not gonna just throw you in the deep end. We're here to make your experience the best experience you ever had, and because we know that's gonna help empower other women to do the same. So don't feel afraid. Just please reach out to us.
Yeah, definitely. Please do, guys. Shout out to Gun Owners of America again for just making, experiences like this possible. As you know, they take care of us at Guns Out, so we can bring this news to you, bring all these exciting events and experiences. And this is important for growing the community. And one last thing before we go, guys, check the links in our description of this video. We'll have a link to an information page about Women's Range Day, and we'll also have the link to register for Women's Range Day. Make sure you check out those two links. Also, don't forget to like, share, comment, subscribe, so we can continue to bring these news videos to you and all the other content videos that we're creating. And also, we are literally days away from dropping our SHOT Show reality series, SHOT Show like you've never seen it before. When I tell you, that is going to be a banger. 3 episodes. Like I said, it's SHOT Show like you've never seen it before. I think it's going to shed a whole new light on what this community is really about. Anyway, that's enough for today. I'm John Keys. Go News. Let's go.